Hello there, and welcome back to Napalm's newest news. Today we have good news, everybody, because there is the T-90A, Boris the Bullet Dodger. And today we will talk you through about the dev blog and a little bit about the dirty little details that you all want to know, as well as a bit of the history. When I say we, I obviously mean myself and my good friend Exe, which is very experienced when it comes to modern vehicles. So, again, you can read the dev blog by yourself and enjoy all the beautiful pictures in there, because you will find the link in the video description down below as usual. Let's begin. So the T-90A will be the top Russian or Soviet MBT at rank 7. It looks very much like a T-72, so this gives you a rough idea about its performance. And it has very interesting facts. For example, there are the red eyes, and apparently the red eyes are only visible as being red when being viewed on television or on photographs. So there is then also that the tank has increased mobility with a 1000 horsepower engine. It still has a slow reverse speed and I guess also no neutral steering, but there is also an upgraded welded turret and also protected by contact 5 Aero, which is very unique, as we'll hear later. So there is also then that the tank has very good ammunition, despite the tank despite the gun being the same as on the previous T-72B3. It has a high-speed ATGM, and it also has a good AP round. And then it has a new AP-FSTS shell and a programmable proximity fuse INET round for anti-helicopter work. I approve of that, by the way. So we have on top of this, quite literally, second generation thermal imager, which is always nice to have and brings the tank up to being on par with Western MBTs. The thing is that those eyes that you can see here are not any sort of IR enlightenment of the battlefield, but rather ATGM, anti-ATGM system. So this is mentioned here. So 2 groups of radiation warning sensors are installed on the turret as well. So that means versus some ATGMs with an automatic guidance like tow, hot, Konkursk, etc., the system makes the missiles miss the tank, so to speak, and when there are other missiles fired at it, which are laser or laser beam guided, then you get warned by the laser radiation sensor. So you are in theory equipped for all the scenarios out there. Then obviously you have to look at the incoming ATGM, and yeah, it has to come in a very narrow or very specific angle. So that is the T-90A in a nutshell, according to the dev blog. But there is some more information, and as I just said, here is my dear friend Exe. Exe, what is it with the T-90A from its historical performance, history, and the rest of it?
Yeah, hi, Napalm. So the T-90A has a troubled backstory since originally it was a T-72. It was called T-72BU, but it had to be renamed, basically due to propaganda purposes, because during the Gulf War, T-72s were slaughtered left, right, and center by the NATO forces, and it didn't give the name T-72 a good reputation. So they had to come up with something else. They came up with T-90. T-90, as you already said, features a welded turret, which cuts down production time because you don't have to cast a turret anymore, which takes a lot of time to cool for the cast turret to cool out. The jamming system you mentioned is called Stora. And as you said, it basically jams the information of the ATGM and makes it miss the target. In real life, though, those sensor arrays that are mounted on the turret of the tank can detect basically if something points at you. And I think the commander has just a button that can basically override the gunner's controls when he gets the warning, and the turret turns automatically towards that where basically the laser, for example, whatever, shines at you. So those eyes can actually do their work and make the missile miss. All in all, the T-90 is basically features components of the T-80U. For example, the heavy ERA Contact 5, which works in an interesting way because not only defends it against heat rounds, but it also is defending the tank against kinetic energy rounds. It does it via the nice feature of like small shape charges that are actually cutting the incoming penetrator into pieces, therefore reducing the effective length of the penetrator and therefore the overall effectiveness and armor penetration of the incoming projectile. All in all, the Western nations took some time to figure out how to counter Contact 5. So from what I know, there's, I think, no real round in the game that actually has anti-heavy ERA features. So this tank will be very well protected from the front. I'm really looking forward to this tank in War Thunder. I think it complements the Russian top-tier lineup very well. They get another very, very strong top-tier tank. And I think that's my 2 cents to the T-90. Back to you, Napalm.
Thank you for that history lesson. And well, that is actually rounding up the DevBlog video very well. So thank you for your insights. And thank you for everybody who was listening, who was watching. And I hope that you give this video a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more. And as usual, we will see each other on the battlefields of War Thunder.